I gained about 45 pounds within a year and a half time. That's tremendous. The weight loss has transformed every single part of me, inside and out. In order to give 100% of yourself to somebody else, you have to be there mentally. You have to have that energy and that stamina. And if you don't, what are you giving the world? Nothing.
Obesity is currently one of the biggest problems in the world, negatively affecting every aspect of our lives. Because of this, I decided to hear from real people, the real stories. I want to know what made them put on the weight in the first place. Are these people really just junk food addicts who are too lazy to exercise? Or is there much more to the story hiding behind the wall of fat? I want to know, what was their turning point in their life to say enough is enough? And how do they overcome their biggest challenges? We believe that the real people have more good answers than even the best weight loss programs. We hope that they will inspire, educate and motivate all of us to make changes in our lives. And this is how, together, we can contribute towards a better, healthier and happier world. So we have Melinda here from Southern California in the US, where they have such amazing weather. And Melinda has lost over 89 pounds in weight. And I think she's going to be a very influential person for everybody that's going to be listening or watching this episode. So thank you, Melinda, for joining me today from the US.
Thank you. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited because like I just mentioned to you that it's people like you that actually change the world, have a big influence on people around the world, especially with obesity now being one of the major health problems on a global presence. And I know that there's millions of people out there that want to lose weight for a number of reasons. And I'm a big believer that if you've been there and done it, then you're going to be a great example to share your story with everybody, because everybody will be going through similar struggles to get that weight off or to get started. So thank you so much for coming on and really sharing your story with everybody around the world.
Yeah, no problem. I'm honored.
Thank you. So the first question that I want to ask you, and this is a question that really interests me, we can apply this question to many different areas. One of the things that I'm really fascinated about when it comes to weight loss is, why is it, or how is it you actually put the weight on in the first place?
That is very, very deep, and that is basically my makeup and my story.
Yes.
I wasn't always heavy. I actually was quite fit as a child. And it's, it's one thing that, I was always active. I was in sports. I was a dancer. I actually did boxing for a while, you name it. But I got married and had children at a young age. And my first husband, I had 3 small children with him, and he passed away.
Yes.
I was about 23, 24 years old. So here I am, a young mom, having to be a single mom at the spur of a moment notice. And so I went in robot mode and stopped everything to focus on working full time and being that mom and providing. And, nights got late. I wouldn't go to the gym. I stopped all my activity. So in that first year, I gained 10 pounds, and it just kept going and going and going. And so I noticed after a couple years of that, I said, well, let me get back into my active lifestyle, since now I have a firm grip on it. And it just got harder. The older I got, it got a lot harder to lose that weight. I've had a couple tragic moments in my life. And what really sent me in a downward spiral was, I was lucky enough to meet my current husband and remarry, and he's been my biggest support. But during that time of courtship, I found out my father had cancer. So I was his only caregiver. I was his only child, his only family here in California. Yeah. And he eventually passed away, and I felt so much grief, and it sent me into a major depression, to the point where I wouldn't get up. I didn't want to go outside. It was hard to parent my children because all I wanted to do was sleep and eat my emotions.
Yes.
So, that changed my relationship with food 100%. I was using it for comfort. Yes. And I gained about 45 pounds within a year and a half time. That's tremendous. I felt, well, I'm married. I'm grown. My husband loves me the way that I am, and there's no need to change it. It was an excuse. Yes. And knowing that, I still kept going, and that was my depression. I didn't want to do anything to change. And then I got to the point where, okay, if I go to the gym, I'm going to be embarrassed. They're going to laugh at me because here's this fat girl, she shouldn't be wearing those tight pants, or, this fat girl, let's watch her try to run, or let's watch this fat girl try to lift some weights. And it became an insecurity.
When you had those thoughts going through your head, obviously to make that, initial step to go to the gym, how did you overcome that? How did you make yourself, put your training gear on, get out of the house, get to the gym? Because that is the hardest part, is actually getting there in the first place is the hardest part. So how did you get there? Like what do you say to yourself? What do you do to get there?
Oh, most definitely. That is the hardest part. And what motivated me, and this came years and years later. I have my youngest son with my current husband, and he got old enough. We went to an amusement park, and I didn't want to get on anything, and I was hot, I was tired, I kept having to stop. And he said, "Mommy's too fat. She's tired, she doesn't feel good, and she doesn't want to play with us." And I got tired of seeing my son being hurt by my actions. And I wanted to play with my son, and I wanted to keep up with him. So that was my motivation. And then me telling my kids, you should love yourself no matter what. Don't be embarrassed. Who cares what people say? I wasn't living that truth. I wasn't practicing what I was preaching. So all of that, and feeling the way that I was feeling, knowing that diabetes ran in my family, it all just happened at that moment. It just hit me. Boom. You know what? Who cares what anybody has to say? Your kids matter. Your life matters. Yes. Get up and go. I went into that gym and I said, I don't care what anybody has to say. I'm just going to do it for me. And I literally had blinders on. I was focused, and that was it.
So obviously with the few deaths that you've had in your family, were they related to health problems?
It was actually 3 deaths. I didn't touch on my nephew. My nephew was 3 years old, and we were very close. He was close with my daughter. They were the same age. I took care of him like he was my own. So it was an accident. He got hit by a car, and he was only 3. And so that started that whole set of depression. And then right after, shortly, I lose my husband, and then my father. My husband, it was another car accident. He was hit in a head-on collision on his way home from work. So, that was instant. But with my father, it was very much health-related. It was cancer.
With your son telling you that you're not able to do the certain things because you're not healthy, that really had a trigger on you to actually, make that initial step to say, I'm not going to be able to play with my kids. I don't know how long I'm going to be here for my kids if I continue to do what I do. And I don't think any parent wants that to happen to themselves for their kids' sake.
Oh, most definitely, especially because I know what it's like to lose a parent, and I knew the toll that it took on my older children to lose a parent. So that was my huge wake-up call. And not only that, I had family members that have had diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol. Thank goodness I hadn't gotten to that point yet. And that's why I wanted to do what I did to stop that, to prevent that. Because there's no way I wanted to have to deal with taking all these medications and being, bound to a bed or, going to doctor visits every week. It was not in the cards for me. I hate to use this as an excuse, but life gets in the way sometimes. And I would lose about 10, 20, 30 pounds. And I would feel, okay, great. I look great. I feel great. I'm going to continue. And old habits started creeping in. And it got harder each time that I would lose the weight and then go back to my ways and gain 10 pounds. It was harder to take those 10 pounds off. So I just got discouraged. Not only that.
So when you said that when you say that life gets in the way, what was getting in the way, would you say? Because there'll be thousands of people who say the same thing. So when you say life gets in the way, what's getting in the way?
My work schedule, family, home life with, 4 to 6 kids in the house, especially all around the same age, teenagers. Yes. You're just going. Yes. They become your life. Everything else around you it consumes you. So you put yourself last. Yeah. And when you put yourself last, that's everything, whether it's eating properly, I would forget to eat, or I would be on the road. It's just quicker to eat something that's fast food or just grab a bag of chips and I was fine, and unhealthy habits. Yeah.
Because, a lot of people, they say to me, life's in the way. I can't do it because I don't have time or I don't have the resources. I got family, I got kids, I got work, etc. But now with your new way of thinking, your new mindset, if you look back on what you were saying, and I'm sure if you look at it at a different way now, if you look at it as, look, I need to be healthy because I need to be here for my kids, I need to be healthy for myself to be able to do certain things, then you're not going to say that life is going to get in the way, because you are going to find half an hour to actually exercise, to get to the gym. You're going to make sure that you understand what your body needs, what you need to eat, where you can get it from. Do you need to prepare it beforehand? Now, when you look back on what you used to say, and a lot of people do say these things, there's a million excuses that we can look at. You can honestly say that everybody has at least half an hour every day to exercise, yes?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. See, those were all excuses. Now that I know and my mind is right, that was all just a big pile of excuses. Yeah. So there is no excuses. There's always time. Always time.
So when you started off wanting to lose weight, you start, you stop, you lose some weight, then you stop again, then you put the weight on, then you start again, you may lose some more weight, and then you stop again. So it's like you're like a hamster in a cage. You're just going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. So then when you made that initial step, when your son told you need to, you basically need to do something about it, what was it that was keeping you motivated to keep going, even when the struggles, the challenges were coming your way?
The feeling, seeing that progress, and just not taking no for an answer from myself. I finally took the time to stop, listen, slow down, and just go through what was going on in my mind and get that right and fix my mind first. And the amount of support, support is a huge key in this. If you have no support, it's going to be 10 times to 100 times harder. And me, I had all of my kids, my husband, my parents, everybody on my side cheering me on. So I really had no more excuses. Yes. So what was going to be my excuse? So everywhere that I turned, I had a door open for me. So I had no way out, no way to say, you know what, I'm just going to stop and I'm not going to do this. And once I started changing that mindset, I said, well, I feel better. I look better. I can see these changes, and the changes are happening in my family as well. They jumped on board. So why would I stop?
What is it that you did to keep going forward? not to go back or not to stop, not to give up?
My situation is a little bit different, and I don't recommend it for everybody, but for me, I did have weight loss surgery. And this took a year of preparation and researching and counseling and everything like that. And what kept me going is the fact, okay, I had this surgery. I could die.
Yeah.
I literally can die if I don't take care of myself, inside and out. Or, okay, let's say I don't die. I can regain all my weight. And what would be the purpose of that? I just wasted all this time and money. And there was just that wasn't the option for me. There was just no looking back. I made that decision, and it was life or death for me, pretty much.
So why did you go down that? Why did you go down that route? Why didn't you do it the natural way? Because you can lose, you can lose as much weight as you want, or you can, put on weight or healthy weight. Why did you go down that option of surgery and not do it the natural way by exercising, eating healthy, and doing it for a longer period of time? Because one of the biggest problems is that people want to do it so fast.
Right.
People want to lose the weight over, short periods of time. But if you think about it, we're going to live until we, 100 plus years of age. Yeah. So if you've got another 60, 70 years to live, you can take that time to, get the weight off in this manner. Why did you decide to go down the other route?
For weight loss surgery? A lot of factors. My doctor, I started feeling really ill, and I started feeling a lot of pains and pressure in my joints, and to the point where I was waking up with headaches every day. So I said, something isn't right. So I had these little scares. Doctor said, look, you're going down a really wrong path, and it's not healthy. He says, we've tried. I went to the doctor and was on weight loss programs that were medically prescribed by him and monitored and everything like that. And I would get to that 30-pound mark, and I just couldn't go past it. It was like something was just stopping me. And he said, well, this is an option.
What do you think was stopping you looking back? What do you think was
going back? If I could do it again, I probably wouldn't choose that route. Not that I regret what I did, because I do love my decision. It changed my life for the better. But now that I know and I have those tools in my head, I believe that they were stalls. They were just stalls that I could have, if I was better educated, I could have broken those stalls. I could have changed up my eating habit and changed up my routine, changed up my workouts, increased my water. And now, and I hear so many people say, you took the easy way out. And I beg to differ. Having surgery is a tool, just like going to the gym is a tool, just like a dietary supplement is a tool. This surgery, for me, for my personal journey and experience, I used it as a tool because I meal prep, I eat healthy, I shop, and I eat whole foods. I kicked out processed foods. I don't eat dairy. I'm trying to go to plant-based. I work out every day. I keep active. I had to work on my mind and everything. So I have to work 10 times harder. So it's definitely not the easy way out. But if I had the same knowledge that I have now that I back then, I believe I could have done it without it. Do
you think it was more of a decision that you had to make because there were certain things going on and you were just scared of what could have happened? So you just thought, look, I just need to do something, and you just went down that path because obviously you didn't have the education of what you could do and how you could do it.
Right.
So you just went down this path and thought, oh, let's do it this way.
Oh yes, most definitely. Especially when you're dealing with all these medical scares and these thoughts going through your mind. And I I didn't know what would happen to me within a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't approaching 400 or 600 pounds, but I was at the benchmark of 300.
Yeah.
And to me, I just got tired of feeling horrible every day and feeling like I was going to die any moment. And I know that sounds dramatic, you know, us Californians,
Yeah. But you're in that position, so unless you're in that position and feel and understand what's going on, nobody will be able to experience it. Do you think that going to a medical doctor, they could have told you these specific things, like if you're getting headaches, the first thing that I would have thought of is that you're dehydrated, you're not drinking enough water.
And that's 100% it right there. I think the level of education that I received from my doctor was minimal, and I think he could have done better. And it's sad to say.
Also, the doctors are just they're not trained sometimes in these specific things.
Right.
So, if you did, go to somebody that in this specific field, then maybe you would have got the correct information that you would have needed to not have gone down that path.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
So for the people that are, that are listening to this, and obviously you've just said, looking back, with the education and knowledge that you had, you would have been able to have lost the weight without going down the surgical path.
Right.
So how would you, and what would you recommend to people to educate themselves? What do they need to do?
They need to really, like you just said, educate yourself. Really do your research. I did my research, but in a different fashion, because I was given this option for weight loss surgery. So I just focused on researching weight loss surgery instead of focusing on everything, all my avenues, all my options, and reasons why I was feeling the way that I was and how I can change those. And, go to a gym, speak to a certified personal trainer, I have this chiropractor who's a holistic or wellness doctor, and he's amazing. He has a plethora of knowledge. And now, a year after my surgery, now I get this information. Now I'm talking to him, which is fine, because like I said, I don't regret having the surgery. The surgery has changed my life for the better. And if that was a life or death situation and something that I had to do again, I would do it. But knowing that if that was my only option. Yeah. But I definitely believe that you, for yourself, be your own advocate. Educate yourself, do extensive research at all your options, weigh all of your options, because I know that there's people that do need the surgery, that it is a life or death situation, and they have things like PCOS, all these things that are fighting against them, that they feel that's their only way. So like I said, the best way is to just research and get educated.
Yeah. And you also mentioned that the supporters that played a big part in you to actually change your life. And there's a lot of people out there that don't have that support. So what advice would you give to these people that don't have that support that you have had from your family?
First and foremost, you have to be your own support system if no one else is going to support you. So you have to really dig deep and really work on your mindset, because you're going to be your backbone. You're going to support yourself and lift yourself up. You're the one that's going through this journey and getting up every day. So that's my first point. You have to love yourself enough to be your own support system. And second of all, if you don't have your friends, your family, co-workers, significant other, get plugged into a really good support group. And there's many. I'm in a few myself. Even though I have a support system at home, I still partake in the support groups, whether that is through my surgeon's office, through a weight loss community. I'm on one in Facebook, social media. I know this sounds so cliche, but social media, you'll find some really great communities.
Yes, you will.
And that's how I got my biggest support, and I love it. I go on Instagram and we have a little family that we built, and we vent to each other, we post, we uplift each other, and we actually do meetups, and we do end up meeting. I mean, it's great to meet people from around the world that you've seen online, and that have, and that know what you're going through and have been in that same situation. So there's avenues. You just need to plug yourself in there, and you'll find your right niche.
So let's talk a little bit more specific now about what it is that you have been doing. So let's talk a little bit about exercise first. So what sort of exercises were you doing at the start? Because obviously, there will be people who are, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, kilos plus overweight. So the exercises are going to be different depending on, what level you're at, where you're starting from, how much weight you want to lose. So what were the exercises that you were doing at the start? What type of workouts were you doing when you first started?
When I first started, I did a lot of walking.
A lot of walking,
A lot of walking. You get up and just move. I love music, so I would kind of dance around by myself, and so just moving already, you could see a change, and it built my stamina. I did a lot of walking, no weights. I would just kind of move my arms in the motions, that I would see people doing in the gym. A lot of cardio.
So you do a lot of walking, and then obviously you will get to a point then when you need to change it up. You will need to do something different. So what was the next step? So how long did you do the walking for? How many months?
I did that for about 2-3 months.
2 to 3 months of walking, and then what did you do? And then what was the next step?
The next step was going to the gym.
Then you made that step to go into the gym. And how was that step? Like, what was it like, to go to the gym for the first time? Were you scared? Were you nervous?
I'm going to be honest. I was actually excited. I was excited this time around because I knew that I was taking it serious and I had a purpose. And when I walked in, to me, nobody else was there. It was just me and the machines. That was it.
And I think once you got your mindset into that point of, you don't care what other people think. The limits in life are endless. There's no limits.
Right.
There's no limits when you start thinking about, I don't care what other people think. And that's one of the biggest problems out there. And not just talking about weight loss. This is just general.
Right.
There's too many people out there that care what other people think. But to be honest, though, as soon as you stop thinking that way, your life will completely change.
Oh yeah, instantly. Because like I said before, when I would walk into a gym, heck yeah, I was nervous and I would sweat instantly without even getting on a machine because I was so nervous and so afraid. And I thought driving up to the gym, I remember I thought, oh my gosh, am I going to get that feeling again? Is that going to happen again? And I got out of the car and walked right through that door and I said, let's do this. Let's do it.
That's awesome. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Muscle.
So then you started going to the gym, and so what were you doing in the gym then? Were you just doing your own thing, or did you research, or was it a coach helping you? How was it?
I didn't have a coach helping me. It's funny because I went back to my very old days of when I used to train, and I kind of remembered a lot of that. A lot of the workouts, a lot of the weight sessions that I would have, and I started off doing small circuit sessions. So at the gym I go to, they have this area that has 12 machines, and it's a 30-minute workout. And you start off with a minute of cardio, and then you do one machine, and then another minute of cardio. So it's all timed. So I was in that, to me, was an amazing starting point because it helped me learn my form, how to use the machines, and how fast, what I should be doing, and the timing.
So then you were doing this process in the gym then, and then what did you do then? Did you change it up after X amount of months?
Yes. Oh yes, definitely. You have to change it up to progress and keep going, and I was increasing my weight because I do want to tone up. So I am actually lifting much heavier. I started off with 3-pound weights,
Yeah.
And now I'm at 20 pounds. So I feel pretty good about that. But I would increase that. So I would go from those circuits. Then I would, some days I would just focus on working on my arms and my back. And then the next I would do my legs and my lower back, or, shoulders and chest, those things. So each day I started designing different workouts, including keeping my cardio in there for my heart. And I know this, I wanted to start getting into yoga. I do have a dancer background. And so to me, Pilates and yoga, it was something that I was always interested in. And so just this week, I actually progressed and I started stretching. Awesome. And learning meditation.
When you were going to the gym, was it a time where you thought, oh, this is too difficult, or I don't know what I am doing? And then, so what did you do then? Because so many people have this experience. What did you do to overcome this?
Many times, especially this weekend. As a matter of fact, I went yesterday to the gym and I wanted to try a new weight area, like the free weights. Yes. And I took my husband with me. I said, look, you're going to help me because I have no idea what I'm doing. Yeah. So I need your help. And it took me 2 seconds to watch somebody do it, and I was fine. Just let me see you do it once, and then I'm going. You need to not be afraid to ask questions. That's the only way you're going to learn, is if you're asking questions. It's just the same thing like when you're in school, you ask the teacher for help. Well, you're at a gym, if you see a trainer or an employee there or a fellow person working out.
I think one of the biggest problems with the internet's an amazing tool. Yeah. But I think also it has the other part of it as well. And I think a lot of people think that they can get into specific shape in this, a short period of time, or, to lose weight, or you do this, you see magazines and they have, people get abs in, a week and all this, other malarkey on the front. And a lot of people believe it, people believe it. I was one of those, I believed it. And then you do it, and then you don't get the results, you get disheartened, and then you stop, and then some people never end up going back to doing it. So
that's so true. Most definitely. I think I did that for so many years, and that's when I kept gaining more and more weight. I would do the fad diets, the Atkins, South Beach diet, all those crazy fads, and you would get all those cool gadgets. And right now it's the popular thing is the flat tummy tea and those wraps, those crazy wraps, and to me they're gimmicks, and it's propaganda too, and it's not going to work. You want real results. You need to eat real foods. You need to put in the work.
So let's talk a little bit about the food. So what sort of food were you eating?
In the beginning, because you're on a restricted diet when you have your surgery, I could only eat proteins. So your chicken, your fish, your turkey, those types of things. Now I'm progressed to the point where I can have my vegetables and my fruits and my grains. I stay away from dairy. I don't have any dairy. I do almond milk, coconut milk.
Stay away from dairy?
Inflammation in the body. The dairy causes a lot of inflammation in the body. I was told that I had fibromyalgia, and that would help to stay away from dairy and gluten and grains.
Did it help when you stopped taking the dairy products?
Oh, very much so. Very much so. I felt no pains, no joint pain. That, and I stayed away from whey protein. So now I'm doing a plant-based protein shake when I do my shakes. Yeah. Because I'm required between 60 and 80 grams of protein a day. So, and being that I have a small stomach now, it's hard to get that amount in. So I supplement with a protein shake, and it's all plant-based with almond milk.
How has this changed your life, losing this weight?
How has it changed it? tremendously and for the better. I can't put it into words. I get emotional. The weight loss has transformed every single part of me, inside and out.
And how has this affected your family life?
Sorry. For the better. My husband and I, it's brought us closer. It's nice to be able to be active and to do things as a family now, and to have something in common with my sons who are constantly in the gym working out, and seeing the benefits, and them being happy, and the compliments, the encouragement. It's just been a team effort, and I think our bond is a lot stronger.
How does it make you feel? Like, how does that make you feel then when you see your family happy, your kids are closer to you, your husband's closer to you, everyone's healthier? How does that make you feel?
Emotional. Very elated. It's all I ever wanted, and I can't express it. Just the best feeling in the world. I feel complete. It sounds so cliche, I feel whole again, but you do. You feel that everything is right where it should be.
Yes.
Because I'm teaching my kids I love myself enough to put myself first, and you need to do the same. In order to give 100% of yourself to somebody else, you have to be there mentally. You have to have that energy and that stamina, and if you don't, what are you giving the world? Nothing.
So you're saying you have to love yourself first before you can give love to anybody else?
100%. 100%. And it takes me back to those times, when I was depressed and I didn't love myself enough to even get up and take a shower or to eat a meal. I wasn't there for my kids. They couldn't come to me, and they felt mommy's neglecting me, or mommy doesn't love me, or mommy, she's mad, or she's too sad to play with me. So yeah, 100%, you need to love yourself first, take care of yourself in order to take care of those you love, and give that love that you have for yourself to them. So
what's next for you?
I have a goal. So my goal was to I went down from a size 24 to now I'm in a size 12. So my goal this summer is to wear a pair of shorts and an actual bathing suit, and not have to cover up, and enjoy my vacation with my family.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, you've been on this journey. I just want to pick up on a point, because I think this is also a major factor for people out there as well. Do you think if I was going to ask you, which way would you recommend people? Would you recommend people to judge the way that they're losing weight by the way that they feel and how healthy they are, and how their clothes are fitting on their bodies, or to judge by a specific weight?
That number, that's another thing that plays such a huge part in your mental. When you're bound to looking at the number on a scale, it becomes obsessive. There's so many things that factor into that number on that scale. It could be water weight gain, our menstrual cycle, whatever. And for me, I just noticed I started feeling good and being happy with my results when I saw the changes, the physical changes. My clothes were fitting better. Yes. I was seeing a little bump in my arm, and that was a muscle. Oh my gosh, I have a muscle. Those little things. My cheekbones came in, and I have a jawline. I have neck, collarbones. Those little things. Yes, the number is important as far as like your BMI and all that stuff, but I think the focus shouldn't be on that scale at all.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. Mm-hmm. One of the most inspiring things for me, and one of the most also disheartening things, is when I see people who are, overweight or obese, and when I see the people then actually, lose the weight and really see that change and see that person of who they really are and what they can actually achieve, and the beauty on the inside and the outside just comes out when you actually, you feel healthy, you love yourself, there's a purpose in life as well. And I think one of the reasons why people end up putting weight on, overeating, drugs and alcohol and all the other things that people do, people don't have a purpose. Like for you, one of your purposes is that your kids, you want to be healthy for your kids. You want your kids to look up to you and inspire to you and to be healthy, to live the life that they want, for you to be their role model. You've got your husband as well, to be that woman for your husband. So once you got that purpose inside yourself, then that was the driving factor for you, yeah? Because you're such a beautiful woman inside out, and I'm so happy for you to have got to this stage in your life where you're living it with joy and happiness, with purpose, and you're influencing not just your husband's life but your kids' life. I'm sure there's friends, family members as well, and also thousands and tens of thousands of people all over the world now with social media. So it's such an amazing thing to see somebody like yourself who has been there, gone out there by yourself, done it, had the ups and downs, had the challenges, had the diversities, all those factors that everybody gets, but has overcome all those factors and come out on top trump. And you're a living example that anybody can do what you have done, and that doesn't have to be with weight loss. That can be with anything that they have want to achieve in their life. So it's a real inspiring journey for me to listen to.
Thank you so much. And here I thought, I'm like, who would take interest in me and my story? I'm just a normal little girl out here in Wildemar, California, and it's, you never know. And this is what I tell my kids: you never know who you're inspiring. You never know what angels you're entertaining either. And always be a light, and always be an example, a good example, and be your best version always, 100% of the time, when you're out there. Of course, you're going to have your moments, and it's okay to be weak. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel, down, but you can't stay in those moments. You have to constantly move and go forward and evolve. And that's been my biggest thing, throughout this journey. And it's been amazing to see myself grow so much and to keep growing and to keep, soaring. And that's my message. You have to keep going no matter what. You have to push through. If I can make it through the hell that I've lived through, anybody can. It's a lot of work. You have to put in that work, and you have to want it more than anything, because if you don't want it 100%, it's never going to work for you.
So let's leave a message for everybody that's watching this. If it's people who want to lose 10 kilos in weight or 100 kilos in weight, or people who are losing weight on their journey, what would the message be from you to them?
Do it. Get up. Do it. Don't hesitate. Don't look back. You can do it. There's no excuses. It's mind over everything, and you have to just go for it. Go for it. And like I said, mind over everything. Don't look back. Believe in yourself and love yourself enough to do it.